channel. This is Linda from Teach-a-Latte Teaching. Today I'm going to be doing a collaboration with other teacher YouTubers. So this video I'm going to tell you my top 10 tips for new teachers. So I'll put the link to the other videos in the description below. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So as I was thinking about this, I was thinking what did I want to know when I was a new teacher? What do I wish someone would have told me? So to be helpful, I really took about a week to think about this. So my first tip is don't compare yourself to other teachers. Just don't do it, ever. Don't compare yourself to the veteran teacher who's been teaching 5 or 10 years. Don't compare yourself to your friend who just graduated from college with you and maybe it's her or his first day of teaching also. Don't compare yourself to other people because you are never in the exact same situation. You will never handle things exactly the same. Everybody's been a new teacher. Everybody's been there. It's easy to go in and look around and think that teachers have it all together. You'll go into a classroom and you just think, oh man, this is like a well-run classroom. This teacher has it all together. We don't. We really don't. We look like we do, but nobody has it all together. We try, but we really don't. So don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to other teachers. Try to be the best teacher that you can be and do what's best for your students, and don't compare yourself to other people. That's where I think the most, I would say I compared myself to so many different people, and I compared myself to people who had so much more experience than I had and had been teaching for so much longer, and you really shouldn't do that because you got to learn. Okay, tip number 2. You need to set up an organizational system before you ever set foot in that classroom. So what I mean by this is you need to go ahead and have a plan to be organized before school ever starts, before any kids ever walk through your door. So you need to think about, how are you going to keep up with things? How are you going to plan? Are you going to grade papers? Where are you going to put those papers? Where are you going to keep important documents like RTI or any other IEPs, anything like that, any data? Where are you going to keep it? Where are you going to keep running records? What if a kid comes up and gives you lunch money or book fair money, or they're going to turn in their homework or whatever? How are you going to keep up with your stuff? You need to make sure you have a system before you even start. Now, let me tell you, your system is going to change so many times. It never stays the same. It's going to change. That's just life. But you need to have a system. So what I do is I have a teacher binder. I have a lesson planner, but I also have a teacher binder. So for my teacher binder, it's really full right now because it's from last school year. So it just has my name on it. And on the inside of it, I don't want to show you everything that's in here because it has some student data at the very end. But I have like the curriculum standards for the standards that I teach here. And then I have all these tabs. And I have a tab for everything. I have a tab for RTI. I have a tab for anything you could think of. There is a tab for it. And that helps me keep up with my copies of things. In my room, I also have cubbies, so the kids know where to put their things. I have papers that the kids know, this is where you turn your work in. This is where you turn your homework in at. This is where you turn in lunch money. It's really good to have a spot where kids can turn in just things they find, like a lost and found, because there's so many times they'll find a pencil or paper. They'll find something on the floor and they'll say, hey, I found this, and you have to stop what you're doing and try to figure out where it goes. If you just have a lost and found, if somebody finds something, they can just put it in the lost and found, and then you can deal with it later at the end of the day. So make sure that you're organized. Make sure you have a plan before you go into the classroom. Now, the next thing is rules, routines, and procedures. So it is very important that you establish rules, routines, and procedures. The kids need to know what you expect of them, because if they don't know it, they're not going to do it. So you need to have very clear, very specific procedures. You need to go over those procedures over and over, not just the first week of school, the first day of school, especially when you come back from any type of vacation. Oh my goodness, like if you're out for winter break or spring break or anything like that, Thanksgiving and you come back, oh my goodness, it's like, I don't care how old they are, it's like they've forgotten how to act in school. They've forgotten all the rules, all the procedures, it's gone. So you need to go back and constantly reteach those procedures. This will really help you if you go back and reteach procedures. Now, as far as morning work, that is one of my procedures, is morning work. So you can set that up the way that you want. The way that I do it is my kids know as soon as they come in, they have a morning work routine. So I have a morning routine. It's posted on the board. It tells you step by step what you're supposed to do, like turn in stuff, unpack, whatever. And it tells the kids exactly what to do. And their morning work will be on their desk and they get started. Now, I am a firm believer in not giving any work that is not meaningful. So my morning work is not just something to keep them busy. I really want to stress to you how important it is not to just give something to a student just to keep them busy, because it won't keep them busy. So you need to have something that's meaningful, something that they know counts for them to do. You can have something fun for them to do, that's fine, but it needs to be something meaningful. My next tip, number 4, is team planning. So when you're a first year teacher, you're kind of unsure of yourself. So you may be around other teachers who have been teaching longer than you, or even if you're not, even if your whole team is brand new, you're still kind of nervous about your ideas. You're nervous, about if you should contribute, if you're contributing too much. A lot of teams have been established and they've been together for years and years. And then here you come and you're new, and so you're like, you don't know what to do, and you really don't want to step up when planning. You just kind of sit back and watch. That's fine. That's fine to sit back and watch. Don't do it forever though. Maybe sit back the first few times and observe and see how planning goes, and then make sure you start contributing more and more, because that's what team planning is for you to collaborate together. And really, new teachers have the best ideas because you're so fresh and you're so with it, and just like you have all these ideas that you're so enthusiastic. So make sure you share your ideas. Like, don't keep them inside. Share them. Share those ideas. And I think you'll be very, I'm sorry, my dog's looking at me. Stop. Okay. Anyway, share your ideas. Make sure that you collaborate and share your ideas. Your ideas are important. You may think that they're not, that you don't know anything, but you do. You usually have the best ideas for lesson plans. My student teachers usually have the best lesson plan ideas because that's what they're focused on. So please collaborate in team meetings. Okay, do not struggle alone. Do not struggle alone. So in those team meetings, if you need help, ask for it. Ask for help. If you don't want to ask your entire team, pick one person on that team to help you. If you don't feel comfortable with anyone on your team, find someone in this school who's kind of in the same predicament as you, maybe another new teacher or even a student teacher. You need to have someone that you can talk to, someone that you can express things to. Don't just hold it in. Anything you're unsure of, ask. Just ask. Okay, number 5 is classroom management. Ooh, classroom management. You need to be down with classroom management. What I mean by that is you need to be consistent. There are so many different ways that you can handle classroom management. I've seen people do brownie points, table points. There's whole brain teaching. There are all these different things you can do. Class Dojo is really big. That's what I'm using right now. Class Dojo is really big. So PBIS, positive behavior enforcement, that is a really big thing right now. So we want to focus on the positive. So make sure that your classroom management system, whatever it is, you are consistent. You have to be consistent. Sometimes when you're first teaching, it's really hard because you may have like some of the sweetest little kids and you have a rule and they break it. Well, if they break that rule, there's a consequence, right? So you need to enforce that consequence every single time. If you let students get away with something one time, they'll get away with it all the time. But I do want to let you know that in my own personal opinion, I have found there are so many people that tell you different things. Like they say, never let them see you smile. Don't let them see you smile until December. Don't let them see you smile until the end of the year. Like go in there and be firm and be tough and all this stuff. And that's fine if that's your personality. But never, ever try to be somebody you're not. that is when you will make a mistake. Be yourself. If that's not you, that's fine. That's not me either. Like, I don't like being very authoritative. Like, I do enforce rules when I need to, but I like to be relaxed and have rules. I'm consistent with my rules. I'm consistent with my rewards and my punishments, but I don't go in there and not let the kids see me smile. I smile. I love being with my students. I love it. So it's up to you. Whatever approach you decide to take, stick to it. But I really hope that you don't let anyone talk you into being someone you're not. Because that happened to me before. People were trying to get me to be more, aggressive and just kind of be the person, like, totally different from my personality. And it didn't work for me. And I almost gave up when I first started teaching. But then I was like, forget it. I'm just going to be myself. And then everything was fine. So be you, boo. Just be you. Okay. Tip number 6 is planning time. Okay. Your planning time is not what you think it is. So I thought, oh, we're going to have a planning time. So that means I'm going to have a time set aside every single day where no one will bug me, and I will be able to plan all my lessons and grade and do everything that I need to do. No, honey, that did not happen. So I was shocked because you have meetings. Like, I had so many meetings, You have collaborative meetings, grade level meetings, IEP meetings. I mean, there are so many meetings, and it all happened during my planning time. Like, in different schools, some schools I hardly ever had a planning time because I was always meeting. And then sometimes when I did have a planning time, I needed that time to de-stress, because working with children all day long, no matter what their age, it gets to you after a while, and you need to de-stress. So don't feel bad if during your planning time you don't have a planning time, or maybe you need to just take some time for you, take some you time, and just kind of chill out and get your mind right before you get back with the kids. It's okay to do that, but you just need to make sure that you have some time set aside. Like, I always have an hour in the afternoons after school is over that I stay, and that is when I can get anything done. Planning, anything that I need. And this year I'm going to stick to it. For years and years, I have not stuck to this. I've always stayed late at school, got burnt out, not doing it anymore. I'm going to stay 1 hour. That is my real planning time. That's my actual planning time, the 1 hour after school. Because I know during planning time, I'm probably not going to have a real planning time. So just be prepared for that. So tip number 7 is just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. You will be so surprised at all the things that can happen in a classroom that you never thought of. There'll be visitors showing up out of the blue. You'll be like teaching a lesson and your phone will ring. You'll be teaching a lesson and parents will show up at the door. Or some teacher will come and say, I need to get so-and-so for testing. Or there's a talent show audition. I mean, go with the flow. Things always change. It's never going to go as planned. Always have like a backup plan and just go with the flow. My next tip number 8, is to have a teacher survival kit. I will insert a little card up here that you can link to see my teacher survival kit video up here somewhere. So you're going to be at that school more than you're going to be at home, honestly. So you need to make sure that you have things that you're going to need, things that you probably don't think about right now. So watch that video and see some of the things I put in mind. But for example, you might need like something for a headache, or you may need extra deodorant. Oh my goodness, extra deodorant, extra toothbrush. You need those. All right, number 9 is you time. You need to have you time. You need to learn to say no. When you're a first year teacher, people will sucker you into everything. Every committee there is, you're going to be on it. Saturday school, PSP, after school, book studies, anything you can think of, volunteering, anything, you will get suckered into it. You will get suckered into every committee there is before you know it, because you want to please, because you're a new teacher and you're like, hey, I want to be perfect. I want these people to like me. You will do everything you can to please people. Don't do it. They're going to like you anyway. Learn to say no. Learn to have time for you and your family. You have to have time for yourself, because if not, you're going to burn out and you're not going to be any help to these kids. Say no. Just say no to anything. Just say no. Okay, so number 10, the last one, just keep smiling. Just keep smiling. That's my motto. Just keep smiling. No matter what happens, and there are some crazy things that have happened in my classroom, I just keep smiling. So if you just stay calm, cool, and collected, you're going to be fine. No matter what happens, stay calm. Just keep smiling. No matter what happens, smile. Smile at your students, smile at other teachers, smile at people in the hall, parents. No matter what kind of day I've had, I make myself smile. I just keep smiling, and I tell myself no one is going to wipe the smile off of my face. So just keep smiling, stay calm, stay collected. There is no problem that you cannot solve. It may seem like it, but there's not. One more thing that I wanted to mention that I totally forgot about when I was talking about being organized, one of my rookie mistakes was spending a ton of money on a planner. You can get teacher planners for $1 at Target, Dollar Tree. That's all you really need. When you first start teaching, you don't need all this expensive stuff. Now, yes, of course, I do have an Erin Condren, and I have a Happy Planner now because I've been teaching forever. But you don't have to have that. You don't have to spend tons of money on your classroom. So that's another thing. Don't spend tons of money on your classroom. Okay, so this turned out to be a very long video. I'm very sorry. I hope these tips have helped you. I hope so. I'm also going to go ahead and insert a link to my teacher toolbox up here because I think that will help you also. You have a teacher toolbox. And just keep smiling. Keep smiling. Be happy. You're a teacher. You did it. You're a teacher. And you have a very kind heart because only people with the kindest hearts become teachers. And you should be very proud of yourself. And we've all been there. We've all felt like we can't do it. We're going to fail. You are going to fail. You're going to fail over and over. That's okay. You're supposed to fail. That way you can learn. Okay. Good luck with your teaching career. Please don't give up. And don't forget to teach a latte.